Hmm? In the number 7, is which a model bear? First of all, we need to define what is a model bear. Who knows what a model bear is? Any ideas? What definition can you give? Or what characteristics, right, should model verbs have in order to be considered model verbs? Yes, yes, Vidal. That's a good answer. Yes. Mhm. So modal verbs are auxiliary verbs that help us express possibility, need, advice, obligation, right? So a characteristic of the modal verbs, as Vidal is typing here, is that it helps the verb, right? It helps the verb, right? So usually, the modal verbs go linked with another verb, which is the main verb, and this main verb is in simple form, right? Or in bare infinitive, right? So, is wish a modal verb? No, it is not a modal verb. Why not? When you say the negative of wish, how do you say the negative of wish? Wishing? Wish not? No. You need to say don't wish, didn't wish, right? So which is the main verb. It needs auxiliary verbs, right? hmm Okay. Yes. So which is not a modal verb. Which can be replaced by which can be best replaced by, and here is the only one where none of you got the correct answer, but the correct answer was only if. A synonym for wish is only if. Because if would be replaced by when, if can be replaced by then, but not by wish. Usually we replace wish with only if. For example, only if I had a car is like to say, I wish I had a car. Okay? So far, so good? All right. Excellent. We're going to try another activity like this. Different questions is another questionnaire like this. Different questions. It's the same about which. Hopefully, now with this explanation, this quick explanation, you can answer better. Okay? So, there we go. Okay, here you go. You should see the second questionnaire right there. Please help me answering it. Perfect, everyone. I got two answers. All right. It's missing only one person, but it's almost done. I guess it's in the last one. Who's missing? Oh, you finished, right?
Um, yeah, but I'm not sure.
Not sure. Don't worry. We're going to check them together, okay?
Okay.
All right. Perfect. Okay. Let me show you the answers. In this one, you did a little bit, well, you had less points than in the previous one. Okay. Over there, you should be able to see the results. Okay. We have the first one. I wish I could play the piano. Excellent. Yes, we said that when we talk about wish, it's the same as in the conditionals. For something in the present, we use it in the past. For something in the past, we use it in the past perfect, right? And for something in the future, we use the modal verbs. In this case, I wish I could play the piano is correct because could is the past of can. Then in the number two, I wish they would keep the noise down next door. This is excellent. It's something I didn't explain you previously. When we talk about what we want other people to do, right? For example, I want my dad to bring something to a dinner, right? Let's say that I'm having dinner today, and I want my dad to bring some sodas, right, or to bring the tortillas. So I said, "Oh, I wish my dad would bring the tortillas." Right? I wish my dad would bring the tortillas. Okay. So in this case, we use would. We use it when we want other people to do something, right? It could be other people or it could be something that is not under our control. For example, the coronavirus is not under our control. So we say, I wish the coronavirus would disappear from the world, right? So it's not under our control. It's not going to disappear because we say it or because we want it. So we say it would disappear, right? Okay. In the third one, we have yesterday. The word yesterday is telling us that is something in the past. So we say, I wish that, in this case, that yesterday means that it's in the past. So we might say, I wish I hadn't said that yesterday. Okay. Then we have the number four, wish at home. At home, this is something in the present. Okay. So wait a second. Sorry, guys, is that there was too much noise here. Okay, I wish I and at home means that it's in present. So here we can use was or where. Remember, I told you we can do the either use was or where. Both can be used. The difference is the level of formality, right? Was is more formal, where is more informal. Was is more for written, where is more for spoken English, but both can be used. Either could be used here. Mhm. In the number four, I wish the time next week. The time next week. Then we're talking about something in the future. So this will should be I wish I have the time next week, right? So when we talk about something in the future, we can either use the modal verbs or we can either use it in simple form. For example, you can say, I wish I pass the exam at the end of the course because this is something in the future, right? I can also say, I wish I would pass the exam, right? Both of them are correct. You can like making a summary of this. Remember only this: present with wish goes in past. Past with wish goes in past perfect. Future with wish goes in simple present or modal verb. Right? There's something like if you can make that note over there, that would be awesome. Okay. Wishes. She wishes. Last Friday is something in the past. So we use perfect model. Could have come last Friday. Mhm. Keyword using could. That's why we say could have. Right? If we were not using could, we could say I wish she had come last Friday. Number seven, I wish to see the manager or see the manager or seeing the manager. We previously said that wish is not a modal verb, right? So since we previously said wish is not a modal verb, it needs auxiliary verbs. So wish is the main verb. So usually the main verbs are separated, right, by ing or to. When you have two verbs together, they're not auxiliary verbs, they are not modal verbs. Do you need to separate them using ing, which is the gerund, or do you need to use to? In the case of wish, you only use the infinitive, which is to, right? So you say, I wish to see the manager, right? So you separate wish from other verbs by using the infinitive. In this case, to. Okay? Are we going okay? You're very quiet.
Okay.
Yes? Okay. And finally, he wished, right? This is in past, right? Eat yesterday. This is in past. So it should be he wish he hadn't forgotten it yesterday, right? Uh, I wanted to do this review about wish because it's important, even though I have to be honest, wish is not part of the exam. There are no questions with wish, right? I gotta be honest. But I consider it was important. That's what I made this review, right? So I think it's an important topic that we as teacher we need to manage it, right? So I just made it like I just wanted to make it like a review and didn't invest that much time on this, but because it's not gonna be on the exam, okay? But general information, mhm. General knowledge, okay? Good job. There is another verb that is similar to wish. Mhm. Similar. It's not the same. Do you know the other verb that is similar to wish? What other verb would be similar to wish? Yes, Vidal. Hope. Hope follows different rules than wish. But first of all, what is the difference between hoping something or wishing something? When you wish for something, that wish is something hypothetical, it's imaginary, right? So that is something that it's not going to happen in the near future or that you cannot control. Okay, so a wish is that it's imaginary, right? Something that you think, oh, I wish, but you cannot change it. That's why you use wish with a past, right? You use wish with a past, right? And when you use hope, you talk about, I wish I could fly. Yes, 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 could fly. You're not gonna fly, right? It's something imaginary, right? And hope is your expectation. It's something that you desire, something that you want to happen, and that you can make it happen. In the case of wish, maybe you cannot make it happen, right? Or probably another person can make it happen. It's not up to you, right? So you use wish. But when it is hope, it's because there is a possibility to make it happen, and it's in between your hands to make it happen. So you say, I hope, right? For example, here Vidal says, I hope to get an excellent grade, right? So it's it's up to him, right? To get an excellent grade is up to him, right? It's like not that someone else would decide if he gets an excellent grade or not, right? So if he does his best, he's gonna do it, right? So that's the difference, okay, between hope and wish. Uh, yes, Diana, yes. Well, Diana, right now, in a little bit after, in 5 minutes or so, we are going to answer some questions from the exam, right? So these questions are test-like questions from the San Diego exam. So I recommend you, Diana, to check the video, please. Okay, because these questions are very important. Are questions from the simple past, past perfect, present perfect, and modal verbs, that are the topics that we have covered, and conditionals, that are the topics that we have covered right now. Okay, so check please the video. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I was talking about hope. I was talking about hope. Okay, so that's about hope and wish. Hope follows some different rules, right, from wish, right? Mhm. What are these rules that we use for hope that we don't use for wish? Let me show you. I guess I uploaded this file right here yesterday. You see, it's uploading. Can you see it? I cannot see it. Oh, perfect, perfect. You can see it perfect. Okay, look at this. So we have here the rules that I mentioned that use which and past form to imagine something different in the present, which plus perfect to imagine something in the past, which plus would plus the verb for things you want other people to do or things you cannot control. And now look at hope. Use hope to talk about things that you want to be true about the future, present, or past. Tom hopes they create new jobs. Look at this. When you talk about something in the future with hope, you can either use the simple present or you can continue using the simple future. Remember what I told you previously? We have two types of future. Simple future is a future with will. Idiomatic future is a future with going to, right? So it says Tom hopes they will create new jobs. Mhm. I hope that makes sense. Mhm. Simple present, right? If it is in present, you use it in present. You don't need to change it to past. Mhm. If it is in past, you say it in past. You don't need to change it to past perfect. So in the case of wish is when you change the tenses. In the case of hope, you don't change the tenses. Mhm. And here is what I was telling you before about was and where. I wish I were and I wish it were are considered correct in writing. However, people often say I wish I was, I wish it was, right? It's what we said, right? So both of them are possible. Mhm. Okay, perfect. So that's a difference. And as I was saying, this is general knowledge for you guys. It's just that this is not in the exam, but it's good for you to know it. It's good for you to have it. Okay. If you want, I can print this and send it to you. I'm gonna send it in the WhatsApp, right? So you have these notes. There you go. All right, perfect. So let's get going. Let's get going because we have more things to do. We're gonna do some questions. Let me show you. Let me tell you how many exactly they are. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9. They are 24 questions. These 24 questions are from the exam. They are only about simple present, simple past, past perfect, present perfect, modal verbs, and conditionals, which are the 5 topics we have covered so far. Okay, so these 24 questions are from the exam. The exams has 60 questions, so the majority of the questions in the exams are only about these 5 topics. Okay, so let's get this started. I'm gonna show you the question, and I want you to write on the chat the answer. Okay, what you have to do in the exam, and you will see it right now, is that you would see some options, right? And from the options, you need to decide. For example, here is a sentence. This is the way the exam comes, exactly like that, right? And you just need to choose, right? So it says, our history professor, and you have 3 options. Had not finished giving assignment instructions when the bell rang, had not finished giving assignment instructions when the bell rang, had not finished giving assignment instructions by the time the bell rang. What do you think is the correct answer for this one? Had not finished, has not finished. Write it on the chat, please, Petra, because I cannot hear it very well. Has not or had not finished. Vidal says he's the number one. What do you think, Petra? Write it on the chat. Excellent job, everyone. Excellent job, Vidal and Petra. The correct answer is had not finished. Yes, it's in past perfect. We're talking about something which happened before another thing in the past. So the bell rang is in the past. So before the bell rang, our history professor was given the instructions, right? So we use the past perfect because it's something before something in the past. Past perfect had not finished in past participle. This is present perfect. This is not correct because it's not the situation, it's not the function. And this is has had not, but it doesn't have it in past participle. So this is not correct. Good job. Let's check for the next question. Mhm. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Well, lady and gentlemen. This is dealing with something I just said. Vidal says he's the number one. What do you think, Petra? Uh-huh. Number two, says Petra. Okay, look at this. There is in the exam, all the questions are like that. We have different types of questions, right? They are by level. Some questions are very easy, some questions are more difficult. Uh, the questions that are more difficult are the questions that are for advanced level, C1 level, B2 level. But in this case, the questions that are more difficult have just very little differences. They look very similar, and the difference is very little. For example, the only difference in this one is here: chance to go, chance of go, chance going, right? Both of them had the correct grammar. Had, would have taken, had, would have taken, had, would have taken. So in the grammar, they have no problem. The difference is here. Here is the verb pattern, right? We said that when we have two verbs together, we need to separate them. We separate them with to or with ing, right? To or ing. So the number two is not possible because you are using of. Of is not the correct pattern here. Okay, so it can be either the number one or the number three. In this case, the correct form is the number one. Thank you, Vidal. Good job. Not the number three. We don't say chance going. We don't say chance playing. We can say chance of going. Yes, we can say that, but not chance of go. If we say chance of going, we are referring the chance of going. Going is taken as a subject, right? As a noun. And that's why we say chance of going. But in this case, chance of go, no. Chance to go is correct because both of them are verbs. Okay? Good job. So it's the number one, Vidal. Thank you. Okay, next. Vidal says number three. What do you think, Petra? Don't copy Vidal, Petra. Probably he's wrong, huh? Probably. I'm not saying yes. Okay, so you say number three. No. The correct answer is not number three. Why not? Requested. Mhm. Requested is in past, and voted is in past. Both of them are in past. This cannot be possible. One needs to happen before, right? One needs to happen before. And the one that happened before needs to go on past perfect, right? So here, the correct answer is number one. They voted, it happens like probably yesterday. Well, this morning actually, right? And for the stop sign they had previously requested, they requested it way before, probably last week, right? So the correct answer is number one, not number three, and definitely not number two. Okay, because of the past perfect. Okay, check that. Pay attention to that. As I told you, the details are very important. Let's go to the next. Remember, these are exam questions. These questions are in the exam. Later on, next week, right, we are going to take a sample test, right? That is going to be about the whole topics. Right now, we're going to take this because we have finished those 5 topics. All right, number 2. It says choose the best answer. I had not arrived early from my lecture. If I had not arrived, we have had not, right? So since we have had not, the following one, right? The following one should be in what? hmm hmm This is the case of a mixed first, second, or third conditional. What do you think? What type of conditional is this? It's a mixed conditional, right? We have we have something in simple past, simple past. Well, it's in past perfect, with a modal verb. It's in past perfect because it's something imaginary about the past and something imaginary about the present. Okay? Yes, it's a mixed conditional. It's past perfect and modal verb. Something imaginary in the past, something imaginary in the present. Okay? So if I had not arrived early for my lecture, I would be working late today. That is the first one. The second one, I would be working late today if I had not had arrived early from my lecture. The number 3, if I had not arrived early from my lecture, I would have worked late today. The number 3 is immediately incorrect because we are using would have, but the work is not in the correct form. It should be would have worked. But the number 2, guys, it's also incorrect. I'm sorry to say, right? The correct one is the number 1. Why is the number 2 incorrect? We previously said it's past perfect and modal verb. Past perfect had not arrived. Modal verb would be working. Here we have modal verb, but look, we don't have past perfect. We have had not had arrived. That structure is not correct. We don't say had not had arrived. Mhm. So read carefully. Read carefully. Okay? Read carefully. Mhm. Let's get going with the next. Okay, Vidal says is the number two. Petra says is the number one. Before we have Mr. Davison picks up, let's see first Petras. Mr. Davison pick up from his desk his portfolio and looks through the business financial analysis before he called a meeting. Mm, there is a problem with this. What is the problem? That all of them are in simple past, right? And we previously said that we cannot have all of them in simple past. They need to follow a sequence: past perfect, simple past, right? So this is not correct. All the tenses are mentioned like if they were in the same or at the same time, right? And this didn't happen at the same time. Something happened before, something happened later, right? So here, before he called a meeting, the meeting is the thing that happened later, right? So you should set the correct one here for this number one to work. It should be before Mr. Davidson had picked up his portfolio. This one, right? Should be like that. So this is not correct. Analyze the number two. Before calling a meeting, Mr. Davidson picked his portfolio from his desk up, looked through the business financial analysis. This one is correct. Good job. Why? Because this one doesn't have it in past. It haven't as a subject, as a noun. Before calling a meeting, right? It doesn't have it in past perfect, but it has it in ing. It has it as a noun. So before calling a meeting, right, Mr. Davison picked his portfolio from his desk up and looked through the financial analysis, which happened at the same time. Mhm. Before Mr. Davidson called a meeting, we already said if you want to mention it like that, should be before Mr. Davidson called a meeting, he had picked up. If you want this to work, it should be either like this or in past perfect. So the correct answer is number two. Good job, Peter. Good job. Let's go to the next one. Okay, Petra. What do you think, Petra? Are you there? Hmm. All right. She's not here. She left. Probably she's having problems with her computer or her internet. Okay, well, Vidal, yes, as we previously mentioned, our bank manager had been waiting, yes, in the office before the senior partner arrived. Good job. This is what we have been talking about, the use of past perfect. Good job. Let's go for the next. Yeah, Petra sent a message, her computer. Okay. Well, in this case, yes, yes, yes. In this case, they were the bear. Mhm. The bear expect, right, is usually used in simple form. So what I didn't expect was an amazing birthday surprise. Perfect. Good job. Excellent. That's the answer. Let's go to the next. Mhm. Yes, this is one of the easiest, right? From basic level. You're going to walk along when visiting New York, so you should wear comfortable shoes. Excellent job. All right, let's go to the next. Yes, yes, Emma bought a computer that will increase the quality of her presentations, right? That will increase. That means that's something in the future, right? Buys, well, doesn't make sense because it's not routinary that you buy computers every day. And bought a computer will increase. Well, you need a connector there. That in this case is that. It's a relative pronoun actually. All right, excellent. Next. Oh, you didn't change. There you go. 3. Assuming that the business proposal gets approved, what would you like me to write for the hiring announcement? Good job, Ida. Yes, that's the correct answer. Well, when we use verb as nouns, we use them with ing, like here that we say assuming. So here wouldn't be all right. And in the second one, because of that, because it's not in ing. And on the second one, we have what would you like me to write for the business proposals hiring announcement, assuming it approved? It expresses a totally different idea. Okay, so the correct one is this the sequence, the commas, that is the correct way. Okay, very good. Let's go to the next. This is very easy. Basic level 2. Yes, right. Why did you park? No explanation needed. I guess it's you like logical, not. All right, next. He had begun to watch the show when, due to the main actor's injury. Excellent job. He had begun. Very good. You got the idea of the use of the past perfect. Perfect. He had begun. Here we have had, but it says began. It's not the participle. And here we have begun, but it doesn't have begun. Had. Sorry. So that's the only correct answer. Good job. Next. They need to express the same idea. What do you think? The number three. Mm, Petra can liking well. Okay, so we have they would have stopped the company investment if the company had been closed. The company investment will have been stopped. Do you really think so, Vidal? Look, they need to express the same idea. Uh-huh. It needs to be the same idea. They would have stopped the company investment if the company had been closed. So we need to respect, right, the structure, right? The only thing is that we need to change probably the order, right? But the structure needs to be in the same way. The company investment would have been stopped if the company had been closed. Yes, that's correct, Vidal, right? So what we are doing here is that we are changing this from a active voice to passive voice, right? They would have stopped to the company investment would have been stopped, right? Would do it. Would do it. What do you mean by would do it? Mhm. Okay, so what we are changing is to passive voice. But when you change it to passive voice, you need to respect the structure. So, but practically is the number two, the only one which respects the structure. hmm Okay, let me see. Where are we? This is number 29, 31. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. Let's see what you can do with this. It's interesting, right? This one is interesting. So, college classes are rolling in summer, but we find Professor Smith course to be an excellent class that put our minds at ease. So, it's interesting because we have here our rolling and we have here put. Our rolling, put. Our rolling, put. Right? So, it's repeated. The only thing that changes is but we found, and here, but Professor Smith course we found, right? So the difference is the thing in the middle, but we need to respect, right? Our ruling and put. Our ruling is in present continuous, right? Which talks about a permanent situation. All of the classes are like that. And that put is in simple past, right? So that means, right, that it needs to be in simple past too, right? Because we find, we found that classes and that classes put our minds at ease. It's something that happened already. So the number one is not possible because it has we find, so it's not possible. The number two is the correct one. It has we found, which is in past, and it has the correct order: subject, verb, object. In the number three, we also have found, but the sentence is not in the correct order, the correct sequence. Okay, so excellent job. It's the number two. Uh-huh. It's the number 2. Because it's in past and the order of the words is the appropriate one. All right, let's go for this. Number 2. Okay, when I was an assistant, I could have worked fewer hours if I had not had a dependent district supervisor. Good job. Yes. Could have, mhm, which is perfect model, had not had, which is past perfect, right? I had not had, this is past perfect, but here we have could had. This is not correct, right? It should be could have, not could had. Had not had, which is correct. Could have is correct, but work is not in past participle. So this is not correct. The only one correct is the number 2. Mhm. Okay, excellent. Let's go for the next. Number 2, yes, that's correct. Express that he appreciated, right? Both of them are in past. while in the first one expresses that the companies appreciate. Doesn't make sense, right? Express that he appreciated, where it should be expresses in any case, but it's not the right one. So the correct one is the number two, expressed that he appreciated. That's the correct one. Both of them in past. Good job. The verb pattern is perfect. Okay, this is very easy too. Yes, right is have visited. Have visited. Good job. Okay, we are going good. What do you think? Uh-huh. Yes. Number two. The graduation event turned out to be one of the best in the county. Yes. Excellent. How do we know is that one? Because it's in past, right? As can be seen. Can be seen, something that is already seen. You can see it already, right? Uh, event turnout B doesn't have the ing and doesn't have the to, so this cannot be. The number three, the correction event turns out, no, because it's not in past. The correct one is the number two. Good job. Okay. All right. The defense attorney had litigated more efficiently. His client would not have lost his case. Good. Had litigated, past perfect, perfect mojo, would not have lost. In the number one, we have have, had, not correct, because it's not the third conditional. In number three, we have his client would not have lost his case if the defendant authority had been more efficiently litigated. In this case, should be litigating if you want that to work. So the only one that is correct is number two. Mhm. All right. We are almost done. We are missing one, two, three, four, five. All right, number three. What is different than two, right? We have had number two a lot. The road that Camila drive at night on isn't very safe. Of course not. Drive at night? Not. It should the time expression should be drive last night in any case. The road on which Camila drives isn't very safe at night. Okay, the road on where Camila drove at night isn't very safe. Okay, I'm sorry to say the correct answer is number two. Again, a lot of number twos, right? Why not number three and why not number one, right? Because of the time expression, right? The road on where Camila drove at night isn't very safe. Well, the drone with Camila on Wish, in this case, should be Wish because we're talking about the road, okay? And it should be also last night instead of being at night. Uh-huh. Well, the road on which Camila drives isn't very safe at night is correct. So it should be the number to be down. All right. Uh huh. What about this? Okay. Thinking of her students, Mrs. Sheffield prepared a fun activity that she had done when she was a child. Excellent. That's the correct answer. Yes. I don't know why all of them are number two, right? I hadn't noticed that until now. It's something that I hadn't noticed. Like right now that we are answering it together, is that I noticed, oh wow, they are all number two. But in the exam, they are not all number two. They change. No, hopefully they were only number two in the exam, but not. Don't take this like granted. Read them. Read them. Okay. Mr. Yes is the only one that expresses the correct idea because he has the past perfect when she was a child, prepare, right? Prepare of an activity she had done when she was a child, thinking of her students, thinking of her students is a compliment, so it should be at the beginning. Okay. This is easy. This is not right. This is not number two. Good job. Catherine drove 20 miles with a flat tire. Good. 53. This is easy too. Number three, could have enjoyed. Excellent. Yes, could have enjoyed. Excellent. Okay. And the last one, Vidal, with this one we finish. Where did you go? Excellent. Yes, it was one of the easiest. All right, thank you, Vidal. Well, unfortunately, the ladies were not here for this class. I consider this was very important, but the good thing is that you are here. Okay. Well, today you're not gonna have any homework, but anyhow, I'm